let's get good. This is Endless Space 2 Awakening, and we are playing as the Fireborn Guardians of the Galaxy, the Unfallen. Although somebody rechristened it this in the comments, and I think that it is absolutely perfect. From now on, we're just going to refer to ourselves as Bob Ross's Revenge, because we are not happy little trees. We are angry little trees. To quote Ivern from League of Legends, the trees have learned violence. And the violence that we have learned is the planet destroyer that we just recently captured here on CYGNUS, I believe, or was it over here on Mira? There it is. It was here on Mira. As soon as this thing charges up, oh boy, we're gonna have fun here. We're gonna blow up planet after planet on Mira, while in the meantime we are simultaneously sieging CYGNUS so that we can capture it and gain access to these wonderful, wonderful resources here. So very many of them. It's quite nice. Can't wait to have those in our empire. Now the reason that we're stockpiling resources, that's a lot of luxuries. We'd rather have strategics, but the reason that we're stockpiling resources is so that we can basically sell more resources, to buy more resources, to build more obelisks of all space-time. Our very first one will be done in 3 turns. From my understanding, we probably need about 3 of them to win the game if we leave our alliance after we build them. So that's 1. We're going to need to build 2 more, which is going to require quite a bit of resources here. We are just slightly shy on... No, we're not. We're not shy on titanium. Oh, Hyperium. Okay. Slightly shy on Hyperium, slightly shy on Adamantium, and slightly shy on Orichalcix here. However, all of those are coming in reasonable numbers that by the time this finishes in 3 turns, we should be close, if not right there. And if we're not right there, we can always go to the market and pick some up. The prices are a little bit high, but we have tons of luxury resources coming in that we can dump into the market, even though the value on luxury resources is not that high. Let's go ahead and bounce around and see what we've got going here. We do have a exploration ship just kind of out here doing his own thing. The Vaulters may kill him there, and there's really nothing we can do about that, but it's not that big of a deal if they do either, so meh. Ooh, look at Trappist here. Trappist would give us more Quadrinix. Quadrinix is extremely valuable. We already have 18.8 of it coming in anyway, so that would be a nice multiplicative factor there. Have we actually gotten our behemoth back down here to gather those resources? We have indeed. Now, let's make sure they're actually gathering those. They are. And I believe we have a second one down here gathering them as well. We do. Quite nice there. Question is, can we build another? Because I don't know if we're at the limit. We are at the limit, unfortunately. However, we do not have a mech suit quarter here, and we are building another one already in Nakos. Well, there we go. That answers that question, doesn't it? Oh man, the fact that Nakos doesn't have a mech suit quarter actually bothers me, because I thought we had those everywhere. Oh, we're building them everywhere. Okay, that makes more sense. I was pretty sure we put all those in queue everywhere. So we've got Vine ships here that we're going to want to send over to Vine Cygnus as soon as we manage to capture that system. We may just send them over preemptively. I don't think that's a bad idea here. We also have a full pirate fleet, or a just shy of full pirate fleet, hanging out right here that we can potentially send up here to Trappist just to kind of provide some harassment and potentially capture us some more ships. We have had a massive, massive amount of success with our pirate fleets. Capturing things has been absolutely great with them, and we do have Colorless here. Is that Colorless? No, that's the Academy ship. Colorless is here on our system, correct? There he is. Or that's not even our system. This is our system. Colorless is here harassing the Vaulters. We need to shoot. Get him, Colorless. Don't let that thing escape. We're gonna go for 70% critical damage here because they are going to try to retreat, because they should survive it. They successfully retreated. Colorless was not able to pop them, sadly. Sometimes if you have enough damage, you can get away with it, but in this case, not so much. Okay, so this is the Vine fleet that's hanging out here. You guys are fine. You can just rest for a turn. You guys can also just rest for a turn. You can rest for a turn. And then, of course, our wonderful Star Destroyer here, you can rest until you're ready to blow things up. But I don't think we have that option, so we're just going to have them rest for the turn. Hacking operations are left unassigned. Let's go ahead and take care of that real quick. We have 1 hacking operation available. And what target would we like to hack next? So we have a door on Bellatrix, but that's not going to get us... Wait a minute. Did they actually succeed at taking our allies' system? They did. They did. Oh, we're going to fix this. We're going to fix this right now. Get them. Okay, so we're going to go in and use Gorilla here. should be more than enough for us to get a decisive victory and flip the system back over. Wow, okay, so that's just a win-win there. We can occupy this system, we can pillage it, or we can raise it. We're just gonna occupy it. We may actually trade it back to our allies, but at the same time, there's really no point. We just got the Hisho's capital because the Vaulters managed to capture it due to an invasion that was going on before we came over here and helped them defend the system, and now it's just ours. I'm totally okay with this. We do have a destroyed planet here that we will need to repair, but the upside to that is we actually do have a behemoth capable of doing that, and he's not that far away right now. He's right up here. So we could send him down to repair that planet. In the meantime, though, the real benefit here is that we did get a bunch of new population types. We now have Elo in our population. I guess that's not a bunch, that's just one, but it is a new type of population. Oh, and there's a fealty center on one of these systems, or one of these planets in system as well. Now the question is, do we want to turn around and trade this back to our Hisho allies? Or do we keep it for ourselves and who am I kidding? We'll just keep it for ourselves. We're gonna leave our alliance anyway once we have enough of the wonders built, so I'm fine with this. We just own Arcturus now, haha. And Shaddai is the new capital for the Hisho. We do still have that hack left over because we got distracted by the fact that Arcturus has fallen. We'll go ahead and go from Bellatrix to Kraz. That does increase the chance we get caught though, because Kraz is their system. So it may be more worthwhile just to go straight from Bellatrix to Shaddai. That is 3 turns total, probably 1 traveling the star lanes and another 2 to hack the system, but we'll give it a shot. It is possible that now that they've had to move to Shaddai, they don't have defenses there just yet. Not likely, but possible. Okay, ending our turn. That's crazy. I can't even believe that that worked out the way it worked out. Maybe, though, we can trade the system back to them for a ton of resources. I would totally do that. We've unlocked a new population bonus from the Sophons. We've hit 20, so we now get an additional 15% science on system with Sophons. That's great. That's absolutely lovely. Battle at Menace. Okay, this is fine. This is our new system that we've recently captured, and you guys are insane for trying to shoot us. Especially considering this is a pirate fleet and we have this minus 50% damage plan. We're just going to capture all their ships. That's what's going to happen here. This might be the older designs though. I don't know if we retrofitted this fleet yet, so we may not capture their stuff. We may just blow it up, but I guess time will tell, right? Let's see what happens. The angry little trees have come for you. We have learned violence and boarding pods. Come on. Get into distance and just fire away, guys. You know, I have had people ask this question several times, so I think I'll clarify it for everyone real quick. If you're wondering how to get the swarm missiles, those are only available as part of the community content, and that is available on Games Together if you link your Steam account. So if you cannot find your swarm missiles for some reason, I think it's swarm missiles and railguns that are part of the community content patch, which you have to be a member of Games Together and link your Steam account to get. But it is free, so... And why wouldn't you be on Games Together anyway? That's the platform you go to if you want to vote on things for the game, etc., etc. Come on, cap those ships. I think this is over. I think we either killed or captured everyone. But from the look of it, we captured everyone because I didn't see any explosions there. All privileges associated with the Academy segments will be removed in 2 turns, so we'll be able to take all the Academy systems in 2 turns. You guys heard it here first. Decisive victory. We captured every single one of the enemy ships. There is no point in fighting us. We have become Legion. Alright, so with that said, we now have a new fleet that we can just whelp anywhere that we want to, for any reason that we want to. Oh, I wish we had privateers so we could just swap them neutral and then be like, haha, whelping them on whoever we choose. Ooh, pirate mark here on Jaya. Now, which of the resources were we light on? We were light on Hyperium, but we're generating plenty of that. We were light on antimatter, but we're generating plenty of that. Orichalcix is the biggest gap in our materials. So we could get 3 if we come here. Leo's got some as well. Are we actually gathering that yet? We're not. That is a priority then. Let's go ahead and colonize this savannah here relatively soon. Oh, it's already in queue, I think. Wait, what? Interesting. It is in queue, but it's in queue as a different type of planet because the planet has been terraformed since then. Let's go ahead and boost that up to the top, and the main reason for that is because we just want to get that planet going so that we can start to gather orichalcics. They have a governor here that's going to boost that. They do not at the moment. So we have a couple options there. We can either move a governor there that can boost it, which is fine. We do have a... Yeah, like Mario Farella here can boost resources, and right now he's just boosting Dustwater. I believe Dustwater may be our tier 3... It is, and that's why he's boosting Dustwater. Okay, so we don't really want to move him off if we don't have to. Who else can give us more strategics that is not being used properly? Potentially, this guy right here. Additional strategics here. Yeah. Additional strategics is very nice. He's got them. Not in his highest English good. Not in as high of concentrations as some of the other heroes we have, for sure. But he does provide a boost to those strategics, and we could use them to boost the output of orichalcics on that system. Or we could just go to the market and see if there's another one, because there may be another one, and we have plenty of money to buy heroes. Like, buying new heroes is not an issue for us right now. However, there being heroes that actually have the skills we want, that is more prominent of an issue. This hero right here seems pretty good, does have the boost that we need as a counselor. Oh no, he does not have the boost that we need as a counselor. Counselors don't have that boost. That is very unfortunate. That is actually unfortunate to the point where we don't want to hire him. I'm gonna double check that real quick. Yeah, he does not have that boost. Does not. So let's see who else could potentially have that boost. There are some factions that have it, and those factions are actually worthwhile to potentially consider even if they're not in the right class. For example, over here, that's science per strategic. That's not going to really do it. That's additional titanium and hyperium, so really no. Who has... I can't remember which faction actually has it in their faction tree. It's definitely not these guys. I would recognize the icon, basically, is what I'm looking for. No. Yeah, it's not going to be these guys either. It may actually be the Lumeris, or not the Lumeris, but the, well, I mean, we can check the Lumeris, but I don't think the Lumeris have it. No, they don't. They don't. I think it is the Horatio, if I'm not mistaken, which we could confirm by looking at Mario here. Yeah. Well, that's just on luxuries. That's also just on luxuries, so I guess I'm mistaken there as well. I could have sworn somebody's faction had a boost on strategics, but I can't seem to find anyone that actually does. It doesn't seem to be a Riftborn trait. It doesn't really seem to be a trait of the Horatio, so I'm not sure who does that. Could have sworn that it was one of those, but I guess I'm wrong. Here's a Lumeris. We already looked at them. It's not them. Is it the Vaulters? But I didn't really see it in their tree either. Yeah, I guess I may be just confused here. I could have sworn there was someone that actually did boost your strategic income in their faction tree, but I'm potentially wrong, I guess. Okay, an Obliterator has been launched, so we have reduced the cost of all that by not basically being against it. Oentho has been successfully hacked. Oentho is a Sophon system. Let's go ahead and create a backdoor there, so that we have a new jumping off point for future hacks. Now, I don't think we're anywhere near their capital. However, we can also use Oentho in a more creative way to come back and hack these sanctuaries that are in our systems so that we can start to get rid of those. That's something I had forgot we were trying to do, and I basically just locked in a hack a turn ago that will not be able to do that, so that's fine. We'll focus this new hack that we have available on that. Here on Nihal, we're going to build adaptive taxation systems because it does not require strategics, and it does generate dust. Other than that, I think we're probably kind of done with this system. We could build another solar security just to increase trade value in our empire. That's probably fine, not going to hurt anything there. There's really no point in doing anything else. I mean, we could terraform this desert into something... Whoops, wrong tab. So we could terraform this desert into a savanna here, or potentially into an arid. I actually think the arid might be more beneficial. Let's see. So we get less happiness, but we get more food and production, essentially. Because here we're gaining 3 food, but we're losing 5 production. Here we're gaining 1 food and we're losing no production. We do lose a little bit of dust here, but that's not that big of a deal. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to terraform that to arid there so that we can get a little bit more dust and, or rather, science and food Food and production generation, guys. It is Monday morning and it is showing. I apologize for being very, very incapable of speech this morning. Apparently I should have had a little bit more coffee before I started. We have entwined Takim. Takim is more than likely this system up here. Yes, it is. What is our siege status? We're getting close to being able to invade them, but I don't want to jump the gun until they're empty. That's really the best way for us to do it without losing many resources, and we have discovered the planet of Tor, which is located within the Vaulters Empire. It's crazy to me that they're just allowing this scout with, like, no guns to kind of fly around their space and be like, sup, what's going on over here? But that's their choice. I mean, if they just want to let us free roam through their space, that's totally up to them. Wouldn't mind getting Trappist. There's so many nice systems out here with tons and tons of resources. And like, we're supposed to be ending this war, but it's been so profitable for us that there's really just no point. Like, I just keep pushing because there's no reason not to push. We're kind of winning on every front at this point. This is what happens when you force the angry trees to militarize. We didn't want to do this, you made us do it. Speaking of making us do it, let's go ahead and get our hack started on our systems to try to remove those sanctuaries. So we're gonna go from ESO here to Nair. Okay, interesting. We can't end a hack there, but I was reasonably sure that's how you get rid of sanctuaries. Can we not end a hack there? Okay, fine. If we can't end a hack on our sanctuaries, then we'll go through the sanctuary like this, through ESO, and then we'll try to hit Jaya? No, let's go for Surma here. We're just basically going to create a bunch of backdoors on the way to the Unfallen so that we can try to mess with them. It's really irritating because we know the sanctuary is here, but I'm not sure how we burn it out now because we are not able to hack our own systems here, which is very, very inconvenient and does prevent us from actually doing anything about these sanctuaries. You can get rid of it by hacking or with an invasion if your empires are at war. So it seems that we can't get rid of it unless we're at war, which is really, really silly in some regards, because it basically means since they're our allies, we're forced to just let them parasite off of us, which I'm not fond of at all. That empty spot. Does anybody remember who used to be there? I can't remember. I'm not quite sure who that used to be. Somebody was here, but I can't remember who. In fact, history will never remember who they were. They have been wiped from the annals of history, where they belong. Now, we could force peace here at any moment, but I don't think we're going to. Instead, we're going to come over here and enact a bureaucratic imbroglio if we can, just to get a little additional pressure, but it doesn't look like that's an option. We do have a basic diplomatic demand there, but there's no reason to use it at this particular moment, and I think that's going to be this turn. Resource crisis next turn. Your empire use of bandwidth exceeds your stock, and a series of cuts will happen if you do not correct the situation. Okay, interesting. And Arcturus is also not producing anything, so we want to make sure that that is being done. Now the question is, wow, okay, we'll do drone networks because that apparently was destroyed when they were invaded. We'll just build out basically anything that might have been valuable that was potentially destroyed when they were invaded. What else can we get that's valuable? Mech suit quarter could be valuable if we fix this planet. Until we do, though, it's not particularly valuable, and it does have a rather expensive upkeep, so it's really not worth building until then. There doesn't seem to be anything else here that we really need. I mean, Center of Light is cool, but we don't have that many populations here. Yeah, I don't feel like we really need to build any of this stuff, but I'm kind of building it just because, well, we might as well. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. We're not going to waste a bunch of money on happiness improvements there because they're just going to be miserable until they're fully converted over. We do have a bandwidth issue here, so we need to cancel our defenses somewhere. Now, if we look here and here... Is that Nihal? We can cancel defenses on Nihal, I feel like. And the reason we're okay doing that is because we control Altair now, so there's really a long chain of systems before they can hack through there anyway, and Perseus does have defenses to protect us. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit better. Mega risk containment is about to complete, which will give us the hazardous mining facility, which is +5 production on systems or per population on planets with a strategic resource, which is huge for us. Our hack was detected here. That is to be expected. Our hack was detected on Nair by our allies. Just think about that for a minute. How is it that our allies can trace a hack, and yet at the... Oh, there's the obliterator shot right there. And at the same time, we cannot hack their sanctuaries. That seems a little bit unfair to me. Alrighty, Basrixo's hero has leveled up. What can we do with him? Additional manpower capacity is interesting, but not great. There honestly doesn't seem to be a lot that's great here, but we can do food because food will become production, so that's fine. That makes that way, way better. The food to production thing is probably the best improvement in the game at this point for us. Oh my, lots of population growing everywhere. It'll be really cool if we end up hitting some of those population laws, but I'm not going to hold my breath on that one because it's not necessarily a guaranteed thing in any way. Let's go ahead and take a look at the places that are doing public 3D printing, because we should now have the option. Oh, we're one turn out still. Okay. One turn out from having the option to do the very, very fun thing of getting even more production, but CYGNUS should be ours here. We're going to go in on CYGNUS with Gorilla. Oh, it's actually going to show us the ground battle. That's fine. I left this turned on, which is okay. That's interesting. Is that a Pulsos? I think that's a Pulsos. So we have like a Pulsos, what I assume is Vaulters, we have Unfallen, we have like a nice mixture of troops here. Oh, and they actually have aerial troops, like in a reasonable concentration for this. So having our ground troops that counter their aerial troops does seem to be effective here. But I mean, they have no manpower on this system anyway, so we should basically just win here. Minor victory, are you serious? Okay. Okay, I guarantee you, yeah, they conscripted. They conscripted, but we did do quite a bit of damage. There's a very real chance we'll just be able to overrun them next turn and take the system, which is exactly what we want. We don't want to waste any more time. By the way, is our planet destroyer? It's charged! Are you guys ready? Are you ready? The trees are ready to become violent. Here we go, guys. I told you this would happen. We captured the planet destroyer, and I was like, this is what happens when you make the angry trees angry. We are Bob Ross's revenge. 3, 2, 1, boom. It's like music to my ears. Ta-da! So we're just gonna continue to blow up their planets over time because why not? Like, we can just sit here and do this all day. This is why they should all just surrender now. Like, this game should be over. At this point, they should all just surrender. There's no point in trying. We're gonna keep sending this ship up here to where we do have a quest beacon for something. What's really funny is that we've got this competitive quest up here that says have the best trade value in 0 turns. And it's said that for several turns now, so I don't know what that's about. Let's see. Gargantuan core that can, or crops that can actually be a food booster for us if we pay 500 dust. Currently on an ounce of prevention, raise the total amount of science. I have to believe that we're in first place for that, but I can't say for sure. Terraform the planet Nair 3 into a temperate planet, and that'll give us Bilgelli plating, which is actually very strong. Any good lair has a backup door, or a back door. So that's the, I believe that's the flashing quest beacon over there. Ghosts and Dust, Dust to Dust, part 2. Yeah, so we're basically done with all quests except for these side quests that are just kind of floating around. And that's fine. Is that a civilian ship? It is. Thank you for the sweet, sweet dust. We appreciate that very much. We're going to finish our first obelisk of all space-time in exactly 1 turn. How coincidental that that coincides with the unlocking of Mega Risk Containment. This should basically be our sort of crescendo here for the entire game. Hazardous mining facility is available. And what other production things can we get? We can get fabrication license here. It will use some strategics to build, but it may actually be worth it on the system that's building the wonders. CYGNUS has been successfully hacked. We know you're hacking. You've been hacking us. Desist immediately. Excuse me. Excuse me. No. Boost to Sisters of Mercy has ended. Let's go boost everybody that ended just so that we can keep them going. We do need deciduous trees if we want to boost the elo, and we do want to boost the elo, so let's go over here and pick up just a few deciduous trees. They can't be worth much. We'll just buy like 100 maybe? Yeah, they're not worth a whole lot. Just give me 100. We have 62k. We have no problem paying for this. Yeah, stuff it. Your alliance is close to achieving victory wonder. The Academy needs evolve, and I have further requests to make of you. Okay, so right now we are neutral with the Academy. This is our opportunity to flip their systems with influence, so we're absolutely going to be doing that. CYGNUS has been successfully hacked. We're going to go ahead and jam commands, which will force them to use a detrimental ground strategy right here, which means this should be it. Decisive victory. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We have captured CYGNUS. Didn't get any brand new populations, but I mean, we did get a brand new system with a lot of improvements. 27 improvements in CYGNUS. What is our Empire happiness at right now? We're still devoted to, like, nobody cares. Gotta love that. Pharrella has leveled up. This is our boy Mario, producing all the resources for us, although primarily luxuries, not strategics, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and grab him a level up. Got some new population in the Empire. Eli Leandra has gained enough experience. Let's go ahead and get some more strategics from them. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful work. Scales Galena levels up, same thing. Let's see if there's any way we can get more strategics. If there is not, then we'll look at other things. Minusing on ship cost is actually kind of interesting. We could put him on a system that is primarily focused on producing ships. Unfortunately, we are past that phase of our empire, I feel like. I don't think we're going to need to make new ships anytime soon. Oh yeah. Yeah. Please get plus 10 production per anomaly on system. What? What is that notification then? Has gained enough to reach level 22. Oh, we already had that. I was like, get the thing that we already had, because I'm blind. Okay, moving forward. What else can we get? I think he's got, like, everything. We can get happiness with him. That's something he doesn't have. That is useful to a governor, although not when your empire is always ecstatic. Let's see. Hazardous mining facility here is an absolute beast of an option. Is there anything else we don't have here that we want? Mech Suit Quarter we don't actually have here, which blows my mind. This should have been the first system to have Mech Suit Quarter. Dark Matter Institute we don't really need. Dust Anti-Trafficking Center we don't really need. Shaft to Shelf we absolutely want. We don't have the Quadronics for it yet, though. It'll take us 2 turns to get the Quadronics for it. I think the correct answer there, though, is to just... Okay, so it's tough, right? It's tough, because if we want to build another Obelisk of All Space-Time, can we... Wait. Can we not build them in the same system, though? Because I'm not seeing it as an option here. Oh, we may not be able to build them in the same system. Okay, so that changes things dramatically. Dramatically, because it means we need to look at another system that we can potentially build it in. Let's go take a look at Nakos here, which is open, essentially, for one. Yeah. Okay, so that changes things a lot. We definitely want hazardous mining facility here. Shaft to Shelf at this point becomes much less important because wherever we build it, it's going to be a one-time use thing anyway. So hazardous mining facility is a priority. We want to get that going so that we get just a little bit more production, and we also want to get the resources to build out the obelisk, which is going to require a bit more than we have of antimatter and... Wow, 9 turns to get the resources for it, I assume. So, or actually that may just be the build time. What am I talking about? That's probably the build time, right? Maybe not. No, I think it's the build time. Anyways, it doesn't matter. What we do know is that we need more antimatter and more... Is it antimatter? It's the way that it displays these when it breaks the 2 lines is actually kind of tough to tell which ones we need. So we need antimatter and orichalcics here. We are about 40 short on antimatter and we are about 30 short on orichalcics. Let's see if we can afford to buy those. I mean, if we do this though, we should honestly buy all of it, because the price is going to jump after we buy it. Yeah, so we'll buy all of that and then we will see how much orichalcics we can buy, because I doubt it'll be all of it. I doubt it'll even be enough to complete the next one. No, it is not. But we can sell some things to get there. We do have a surplus of some resources here. Titanium being one of the major ones, although the sell value on titanium may not be that great in the first place. 8.8k, that's more than enough to get us there. Well, it's not. It looked like more than enough to get us there, but it's not. Let's sell another 23 here, though. That is enough to get us there. And now we should have what we need to start oh my gosh. I thought it was 125 titanium, so now we're shy on titanium, we actually have to buy some back. Which is hilarious in its own right. What's more hilarious is it may actually be cheaper to buy it back than it was to sell it. Look at that. Okay, so we got it. We're strapped for cash here, but we got the obelisk. Wow. That build time is not anything small. 9 turns right there. That's crazy. Okay, so it's gonna take us a hot minute to build that. That's okay. I wonder what our alliance's completion towards the Wonder Victory is. 2 out of the required 6. So if we get our second one built, we only need to build 1 more. The fact that we can build them in different systems, though, means that we don't have to wait for one to finish. I was assuming we would just build them all in one system because I've never gone for this victory condition before. But now that we know that that's not the case, we can actually look at the places where we have the best chance of producing it quickly. And in order to do that, we've obviously got to get rid of public 3D printing. And the first step to doing that is changing all of these to hazardous materials. We are kind of out of time here, but we will finish this up right quick. Just gonna throw our hazardous materials in queue on all of our systems so that we can see which system has the highest overall production rate, because it actually disguises it a little bit when you have public 3D printing in queue. There we go. Let's take it out in every system just so that we can make sure that we may actually drop it from the system that we just put it in queue in, because it may be faster in another system now. So Nakos, I believe, is the system we started it in, and it is not. Nakos is still the fastest system production-wise. But after Nakos, it is Gistrid, so we'll want to be starting one in Gistrid as soon as possible. Now, in order to start that, we will need a lot more resources than we currently have. We basically bankrupted our resources to get there. However, because we only require 60 quadronics here, I'm going to go ahead and actually sell a bunch of our quadronics to try to make a little bit of extra money. And the question there is, if we do that, what can we do with that money to get us closer to the goal line? So we could buy some resources, that's one way to do it, but I feel like we might actually get more out of increasing our trade here, because that will give us a bunch of luxuries that we can potentially sell. Although I'm not necessarily seeing the value in selling our luxuries at this point. Well, I could be wrong. Let's see how much we get for these. Almost nothing. Comparing to strategics, that's almost nothing. Yeah. Not seeing much value in luxuries here at all. Okay, so no point in sort of rushing it. We did sell a little bit of our quadronics here just to see what the value we could get was. It's not as great as we'd like. At this point, it's just a matter of generating the resources to get those things into queue. We already have our second one in queue. Once we get our third one in queue, we'll be almost there and we can just leave our alliance. Now that we did capture CYGNUS here, we should actually sue for peace real quick, and we'll do that before we end because we can. Impose truce.
Carefully.
Bam. Okay, we have imposed the truce. The total tribute is 1,098 dust per turn for 6 turns. Oh, and they have to pay it split between the 3 of them. I was like, do we have to split that with our allies? Because if so, that's garbage, but that's not the way that works. We did get to blow up one of their planets. That was enjoyable enough. We don't need to keep blowing up their planets. We're not cruel. We're not cruel trees, we're angry trees. And that is going to be it for this one. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to go ahead and give us a like or subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time. Bye!